welcome Dr. Gross to give his presentation now on Plantica, the vegan city.
6:30. Can you hear me? 1, 2.
Yeah.
Good. Closer? That's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I never been hooked to so many electronics. I feel like a walking bomb here. So, good evening, everybody. It was really nice to see such a turnout, I would say. As I heard from Brit, 50 people enrolled, and that was a great achievement. So, round of applause for everybody here. It's really great. Great to see so many vegan and people that are vegan friendly, I would say here. And tonight I'm going to talk about vegan in a completely different way. It's not going to convert you into vegan. Probably I will do that in a different conversation, a different presentation. It will come. But tonight I'm going to talk about what vegan can do. And they can do so much. They can, and listen to it very carefully, they can change the world.
We are changing the world.
We are changing the world. And we are going to see a different world, more and more so, because I see so many people that turn into vegan, and I'm very, very excited about it. However, I'm a little bit, how will I say it, worried when I heard a story from one of the people here that he stopped to be, or he's not vegan activist as he used to, because someone hit him, chased him, hit him. Please, don't back up. We have all the force in the world to continue and to do the things that we need to do. The world needs us. And when I'm talking about the world, is everybody. Is people and is animals, wherever they are. And I was really moved to hear the story about the animals, and I feel for each animal, or every animal that I can see, and I'm trying, how would I say, even now, I'm very excited when I'm talking about it. I want to calm down. So, I want to start with something that will give you the opportunity to even more change the world. And that's through the vegan city. But before that, some of you want to know who am I and what I'm doing here at all. So my name is Ze'ev Gross. Some call me Ze'ev because it's hard to pronounce Ze'ev. So you can call me Ze'ev or Ze'ev, whatever you prefer. And I'm a family physician for the last 32 years. I'm vegan for the last 10 years. And I'm activist for the last 20 years. And just recently, I heard that the vegan capital in the world is in the place that I'm coming from, which is Israel. And Tel Aviv, thank you, is really a great place. I can tell you, those that didn't have the opportunity to visit there. A lot of vegan options, a lot of vegan activists, really good place to be. So you ask what I'm doing here. Because we need to change the world, right? We need to go to other places in order to make the world a different place, and we will do that. I don't have any doubt about it. Now, part of my role as a family physician, I took it very seriously to work with people that feel unhappy. People that depressed, people that feel that they miss something in their world. And when I ask them, what do you miss? What happened? Why you are depressed? I get so many answers. Like, you know, I have low serotonin in my brain. So what is the fix for the low serotonin? Of course, medications. Give you pills. That's what most of the physicians will do. Will push you pills in order that you will be happy. Is this the answer? Tonight we'll see, not so much. In the acute situation, maybe yes, but not for the long run, not in chronic situation. Different kinds of diseases like diabetes can cause people to be depressed. Obviously, it's not only diabetes, it's hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, hypercholesterolemia, and so forth. It causes people to be depressed. What is the solution? Pills? No, my friends. There are better solutions than pills. I don't have enough money. I have too much money. Relationship. The relationship crushed. Workplace. You don't need to raise your hand. Who is not happy here from his workplace? Okay, some still couldn't resist to raise their hand. So, workplace. Many people are miserable in their workplace. Children at school. Do you know that 80% of the children in the United States had depression, sometimes between 11 to 17? That's amazing. Why? What happened? We have everything. Why we are so depressed? This is the pharmaceutical companies. I don't say that they are to blame, but this is part of the environment that we live in, that everything is because of medications. We need to treat by medications. It's religion. I'm not against any religion, but many people that come to me, they feel that they don't belong anymore to any religion. They feel that the religion abandoned them. They are looking for something else. But we cannot live without spirituality. Let's have a spirituality without religion. What about the economy? Capitalism, communism, we know that neither of them work. We have so many problems with it. What about the government? What about the bureaucracy? Everything. All of those things cause people to be depressed. But the solution, apparently, is not in the medication. Living in such an environment with pollution, that causes people to feel lost. What can we do for that? The industry is $1 trillion. We cannot cope against it. Yes, we can. That's what I researched, to come here tonight. I didn't read all of it, but all of it is about, in one way or the other, about what I'm going to talk tonight. But I did the work for you. What you need to read, if you want really to know the subject, are only 3 books. These 3 books. You can take a picture if you want. And that holds true to everything else that I'm going to present. You can take pictures all the day. 3 books. One of them I'm going to focus especially now in this presentation, and is about the blue zone happiness. This is the book that changed my view about how to change the world. And that's what we are going to do tonight. The blue zone started by checking statistically in 2002, about 18 years ago, what are the places that people live the longer, or the longest, I would say. Just imagine, one of the places, Okinawa, in Japan, a person 100-year-old teaches karate. People just forget to die. That's amazing. And they are with high quality of life. Don't you say that they are, withering at their age, and they are wrinkled. They are full of life. They die eventually, yes. But they are full of life almost until the last moment. Amazing. And this research, they try to find out what is the secret. What happened there? Why these places, and you see it's not the one place in the world. You have it in 3 continents here. In America, you can see it in Europe, you can see it in Asia. You can see it in different continents, and still these people lived so long and happy and high quality of life, even in America. So he gathered the information and he reached this conclusion that I'm going to make it much easier for you. It's called the 9 forces. 9 things that bring to the happiness. And you can see the 9 forces here in this slide. And the 9 forces are divided into 4 categories, I would say. One is moving. The other one is the ways that you see the world, the right outlook. How to eat. And we just ate wonderful dinner. Thank you. And I feel alive after eating such a wonderful dinner. If I would have eaten something else, I'm not sure that I could have stand here and give this presentation. But I enjoy the food. Thank you very much, whoever prepared it. We have a chef here. And belonging, which is very important. Too many people in the Western world right now feel detached, feel that they don't belong, that they are lonely. And that can be changed. And I'm going over it very fast, over the 9 points, 9 traits that make people happy. Move naturally, biking, walking, rather than driving. Why am I here? Purpose. Have a purpose in life. I'm going back to it at the end. That's so important, that we will have a sense of purpose, why we are here. Calm down. Take vacation. Unfortunately, I'm not doing it. But I'm striving to do it. I will. I promise. Eat 80% of your stomach, not full, 80%. It's a very interesting concept. What type of food? Here we go. I'm sure that you're familiar with all this food. Mainly, all these 5 places mainly were 80%, 90% vegan. Say 80%, 90%, because some had, celebration in once a month they ate something else. But most of them, and I'm talking about the big majority, are vegan. Wine. This is the one point that I don't agree with, but I'm giving you the research, the outcome. Wine, but see where is the blue line here for the wine. Okay? So, wine in moderation. Faith. It's very important to be spiritual. I don't say to be in a specific religion, but to be spiritual helps. So I invite all of you, think about it. We lost, many of us lost the connection with spiritual living. Let's reconnect there. Family, love, connection, that's very important component. And one of the most important component in the 9, and it is the 9th, is belonging to a tribe, belonging to a community with a structure. That's important part of the 9 points. This is a summary, I would say, of the book, Blue Zone of Happiness. Okay, I'm not promoting this book, I don't get any revenue from them, but it's a great book. Now, some of the slides that you are going to see tonight, not all of them, but few of them that you are going to see are from this article that was published here, the American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine, and it's based on research. And I'm going over it quite fast. 80% of changing your life is in your hand. Just remember that, because people come to me and they say, I was born to such a family that my father was diabetic, my mother was diabetic, all my ancestors were diabetic, so I'm doomed to be diabetic. No. You are not doomed to be diabetic. Only 20%, according to the big research, is genetics. 80% is in your hand lifestyle. Remember that. This guy, or this research, they found that your lifestyle is, you spend your life in 90% in 5 miles from your home, from your place. That's what defines your lifestyle. 5 miles. Just think about it. That's all. It's not the whole world. 5 miles. That's what you need to change. If each one of us will change 5 miles from his home, we'll change the world. The changes can be very small, very minor. Just put a bowl of fruits instead of candies on the counter. Just use hand tools instead of machines. Very simple. See, 80% of people in their research said that they want to change their health habits. Create a community which help to make this change. By giving choices, showing the choice, showing the difference between vegan food or between plant-based food, if you want, and other options, they found that it really created a huge reduction in obesity and increased longevity by simple ways. For instance, the sidewalks, to increase the sidewalks in some cities, that change increased the physical activity by 30%. So after all of this, they did the research and they chose a small town in Minnesota that was Albert Lee, and they decided to put all these things that they gathered from their research into a test, to see if we really can change things and not only to rely on statistics, to make a practical change in people's life. So they chose this city and they started to work there to increase the sidewalk of the place. The restaurants pledged that they are going to offer 3 plant-based entries, fruits and snacks, as you can see here, and in the stores there were healthy checkouts aisles. So all of these changes, including schools, and remember that schools and children, they replace all the candies in the vendor machines into healthy options. And what was the result? That was the result. The result was 3.2-year bump in life expectancy only after a year and a half of the change. 3.2-year increase in longevity. More than 7,000 pounds weight reduction. And healthcare costs dropped by 40%. Just think about that, the amount of money that was saved, what can be done with it. It's good for the municipality, it's good for the government, good for everyone. That was amazing. And after that, they became enthusiastic. And they started to spread it to other places. And at the end, about 27, at least in 2016 that it was published, 27 cities joined in the United States. Why not in Canada? Let's do it in Canada. Let's do the change. Let's make it. Now, prepare your cell phones. You can take the picture from the next slide. This is a summary of the changes, because I'm not going over it. You can take the picture, and I'm going quickly after that to the next slide.
Maybe you should go over number 8, Doc.
Live together, but choose the right spouse.
The right spouse.
That's right. I wonder why you directed me to that one, but I want you to listen to this anecdote. I think that you will be amazed. Stamatis Moraitis, I hope that I pronounce it correctly, story. He is Icarian who moved to America when he was 22 years old to pursue the American dream. He was a painter, immediately started having success, bought a house, married, had 3 kids. A very success story. But at an age 66 years, he developed terminal lung cancer. Not very pleasant. And I think that this is frozen. Yeah. Instead of dying in America, because my battery died, instead of dying in America, he decided to move back to Icaria and moved in with his parents. Now, he started breathing the air, drinking the wine, eating a Mediterranean diet, and listen to that. If it will work, I think that I will replace it. Yeah, that's
Maybe it's too far.
no, it's dead. Maybe it's too far. After a few months, in this amazing place. He planted a garden, and he didn't plan to leave this garden. And after, this is the right number, 37 years later, he has a vineyard producing 200 liters of wine a year. They asked him, what happened? What is the secret? He said, I just forgot to die. That's the changes that we are going to make. In the beginning, they identify blue zones. We found the 5 places that people live the longest. Then, learn from the blue zone, we reach these 9 traits. Then, applying to the existing community, we applied all the 9 traits. And now we are in the 3rd level. And the 3rd level is designing community from scratch. How we can build it from real scratch. So, creating versus changing. What is the difference? We are talking about creating a vegan city. So what are the advantages in creating vegan city? Better control of the environment, shares values with most, if not all, the community, higher satisfaction and accomplishment, and we will meet the ikigai. What is the ikigai, which is a word in Japanese? Potentially can bring up to a more significant change in the world, and being the first, just think about it, we don't have any vegan city right now in the world. There is the opportunity that maybe here in Edmonton or in Canada we'll have the first vegan city in the world. What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages are it requires more resources, time, money. Observe changes take more time and less people to consult with because it's the first endeavor. So this is pros and cons of building a community. This is the definition of eco-village. What is eco-village? Eco-village is a place that community come together to become more socially, culturally, economically, and ecologically sustainable. And they design and behave, they choose to use their different kinds of behavior and design in order to be more ecologically friendly. And it's locally owned, as opposed to many other places that are not owning the place itself. This is we term it Plantica, plant-based in Canada, if you want. The first plant-based eco-village in Canada, and this is the email for those who want to join, and I will show you what I mean about joining. So this is the vision of Plantica. The vision is building a self-sustainable community, environmentally friendly, which shares and supports humanitarian values and nurtures personal growth. Very simple, to put everything together. What is the mission of this Plantica? What wants to achieve? So self-sustainability, to create a community that will be minimally dependent on outside sources like energy, food, education, activities, and any other necessities consumed by a healthy, thriving community. Environmentally friendly, to create a community that is environmentally friendly, like cradle-to-cradle concept, smart houses, and so forth. Shared values. Most of the vegan anyway shared values, so it's very easy to come together and create community, the shared values, but not only vegan, but spiritual, ethical, humanitarian values. Financially stable, that it can stand by itself financially as well. And flexibility, it means that it's not going to be a remote place. It's going to be connected to the city. It's going to be in relation with the city. We don't want to disconnect anyone from their connection with the city. And last but not least, leadership. Because this place is going to provide leadership to other places in the world because they have the experience, the first-hand experience to provide this vegan city. So imagine now, I want you to think about this vegan city. What can you achieve there? You can achieve there a school for life skills. Always I hear people say, why don't you treat children life skills? Things that we can use in their life. So in this vegan city, you can have schools that do all of those things. Life skills, developing future leaders. Imagine a place that is spiritual life without religion. That growing your own food, clean, fresh, accessible. A big greenhouse, if you may, that you can come and get the vegetables, the fruit, the nuts, the mushrooms, whatever you want, without any pesticide, because you know exactly what it's there. You don't need to go to Costco, the superstore, in order to get your food that you don't know where it comes from. And it's amazing. It's fresh. And I hear all the time people that grow their own garden, how more tasty the fruit is. It's amazing. It's black and white, very different, much healthier. And that's one of the traits that were common in the people in the 5 regions that we saw. They ate what they grow. Excellent. What about the animal? Reducing animal suffering, increasing compassion, and, cultivating leadership that can make it and do it in a wise way. Not just to push things away from us, but to do things in a way that will really change the world. We can make it. Living in nature, if you design it, you can design that you can live in nature and that you will be surrounded by nature. Moving naturally, more bike and people than cars. Design your home, that it will be smart home, save energy. This is the cradle to cradle, eco-friendly, no waste. I'm going to use the Value Village slogan. What is trash to one is a treasure to another. In this case, what is waste for yourself is a treasure for yourself. For yourself, because you can use this trash. So never there is a trash. There is only treasure. You can produce things that we don't find anymore here in Edmonton. If you go to Toronto, if you go to BC, you can find many more vegan options. You can get even more vegan options. Be creative. You can create so many things that are vegan that you can produce it and export it to many, many other places. And that by itself is self-sustainable financially. And if we are talking about financially, how about clean money? I'm not talking about laundry money. I'm talking about clean money.
There's no such thing.
Clean money, which means that you use the money. People give me the example of the kibbutz in Israel. Yeah, the kibbutz in Israel, it's an amazing example for communities that shares many things together. But in this sense, they are completely different from the vegan cities that I'm presenting tonight. In this sense, because I want the people there to be rich. I want them to be initiatives. I want them to be capitalistic and not communist, as more or less the source of the kibbutz. But it's not going to be capitalism for the money itself. It's going to be money in order to invest it in good things. Invest it in the environment, invest it in other endeavors, initiatives that will bring more money, but on the way we'll make the world a better place to live in. And that's the idea of clean money. Now, this is not my invention, it's not a dream, it's happening these days. If you want to know more about it, I can refer you to one of my favorite books. It's called Clean Money, surprising, and it's by Joel Solomon. Clean Money, Joel Solomon, and you can read about it. He gives there many examples of companies that are already doing it. Policymakers, this city can be run by whom? See, this is the normal ways that we run cities, countries. This is the normal way. But in this, right, we have public, we have influencer, and we have decision makers. And decision makers, for some reason, are in the top. But in this city, it needs to be upside down. Because the people are those that dictate what should be in their city. That's how it should be. That's how it was many, many years before in Greece, for instance. And it worked fantastically. Leadership, leading the vegan urbanism in the world. We talked about it. But we can make it much more effective than it is today. Here. This is the place. Being part of something like that, being part of a tribe, that's what makes a difference. People that feel belong, live longer. Remember that. That's important, not less important than vegan food. Sometimes because of the vegan, we forget other stuff. All the other stuffs are important. And that's where I call for the leaders to lead a change. Let's change the world, as we said. All these components that you saw there, I want them to run your life. Let's get it rolling. How we are going to get it rolling? 3 passes. You can call it the 3 C's. Coaching, changing, and community. You have 3 passes. Everyone sit here or watch this video later on, and we are going to streamline in many channels in the social media, can join one of those 3 passes. Either coaching, or changing, or community, or 2 of them if you have time. And we'll see what does it entail in a minute. What are the objectives of these passes? Working online through Zoom in small groups. There is no time better than today that we are used to work with Zoom. So, working in Zoom in small groups, only every week 30 minutes, or every 2 weeks 30 minutes. It's not too much of your time to change the world, 30 minutes of your time. Studying thoroughly selected books, first of all, learning the material, and then discussing and creating the green print. And I chose to use it as a green print rather than a blueprint. So the green print for changing the world. And what are the passes that we have? Coaching. So what we are doing in coaching, those that join the coaching, is how better to support people who seek a change. I can tell you that I have patients that come to me and ask, yes, I'm convinced, I want to become vegan. It's the best way to go, I know that, but how do I do it? Can someone help me? Yes, this coaching can hold your hand and help you through Zoom, so whatever you choose. Changing. You remember the changing of the city by the Blue Zone project. Changing this task force, I would call it, this team, its objective is to work with municipalities to create a healthy change. Very similar to the ways that the Blue Zone project did. So this is the changing team. And the last, not least, is the creating team. To create, you weave the dream of the vegan city and turn it into a reality. So for this team, we need many, many small groups that work on different aspects of the vegan city. We need different kinds of skills and people. Okay? That's what we are looking for. We are looking for passionate vegan, those that are willing and capable to help others. These are the coaches. Those that are willing to change their city. These are the changers. And by the way, it doesn't need to be specifically in Edmonton, of course. We are online, don't forget. It can be in Denmark, it can be in Sweden, it can be other places. We are going to be connected. So, no problem that people will join us from other places. Change their city. And, again, last not least, is those that believe in the power of the community, the creators. And what do we look for, the creators? We look for all these skills that you can see here. And I'm sure that it's not a finished list. You can have many more. But all these skills can join and create groups in order to change and build the city. So join us, whoever see it in his own skills. And by being vegan, passionate vegan, you have also a very important skill. You can join and share and bring from your own ideas and skill and contribute in a tremendous way. And I want to finish this presentation with the Ikigai. Who here heard about the Ikigai before? 2. You are Japanese? 2, great. So, Ikigai, it's amazing. I miss a joke here?
The girls, they used to call me that in high school, the icky guy. I've outgrown it.
So, Ikigai. What is the Ikigai? Ikigai is built up with 4 components. Do what you love. Okay, first of all, that's my recommendation to everyone here. Do what you love. What you are good at. And what the world needs. And what you can get paid for. This is the formula for purpose. This is the formula for happiness, according to this Japanese way, and I can tell you that Japan is the highest in the world in longevity. I think it's the second highest. I checked it recently. Now, if you're doing only what you love and what you are good at, that's what's called passion. If you are doing what you love and what the world needs, that's called mission. And if you are doing what you need and what you can get paid for, this is vocation. That's what many people do. They go to work. Okay? The world needs it, I'm paid, that's it. That's vocation. If you do what you are good at and what you are paid for, it's profession. Fine. These are the 4, I would say, basics that we are used to. But let's look at the 3 of them. Right now we looked at every combination of 2. What happened when we miss what the world needs? So we have satisfaction, but we have feeling of uselessness. If we have the other 3, we have delight and fullness, but no wealth. If we have the number 3 is love, needs, and what we paid for, we have excitement and complacency, but sense of uncertainty, because we are not doing what we are good at. And last, if we have the other 3, what we are good at, what we are paid for, and what the world needs, it's very comfortable to be there, but we feel empty because we don't love what we are doing. So, only when these 4 are satisfied, then we get what's called the ikigai. That's what in the heart of the ikigai. What I want to tell you is that being or creating this vegan city, you will be in the ikigai. And that's so important. You have a purpose. You love it. I'm sure that you will be good at it. The world needs it. I don't think anyone denies it. And we are going to be paid off. As I told before, there are a lot of opportunities there to be paid. So you are going to be in your ikigai. Don't do nothing because you can't do everything. Do something, anything. And that's a quote from one of my favorite activists, I would call it, Colleen Patrick Woodrow. Right? Give her a hand. If you want to take part in it, this is the address. You have here the email, plantica2020@gmail.com. Very easy to remember. plantica2020@gmail.com. Tell your friends. Send it in the social media. Whatever you can. I would like to see more and more people because we are going to change the world. Thank you. Brit. Thank you.
Thank you.
This one. Thank you, Dr. Ze'ev Gross. That was great. I'm sure all of us would like to be a part of Plantica, or at least live there.